You got to see this. You're going to be so encouraged. God spoke to me prophetically in a night vision how he's going to deal with the evil one, and great provision is coming. As a matter of fact, it was like gold rain's going to come down in provision if you think about what he's showing. It's exciting, even though you doubt it. You got to see this because God is going to deal with the evil one. Check it out. Have you ever seen one of those movies or something in your life? It looks like, man, it's almost it's going to end. I mean, something tragedy is going to happen. All of a sudden, we get rescued. Well, that's exactly what just happened to America. God rescued us at the last moment, at the last minute. And it makes me think about what was just released by Pastor John Kilpatrick, a Church of His Presence, when he was talking about, how God, I mean, we knew, you could tell we were barely on the edge of serious things going on, but the Lord withheld that and he stayed that. And also he's going to talk about how the Charisma magazine reports how unique President Donald Trump is and how it fits so systematically to the point we got to say, God is definitely in this. As a matter of fact, let's go to Church of His Presence now. Pastor John Kilpatrick.
As we go into this new year, next Friday will be the inauguration of Donald Trump. Now, I want to make this extremely clear, too, before I get started. My pastor raised me up to never get behind the pulpit and get political, because once you do, you'll regret it. And so I don't want to be political at all. I've never even allowed politicians to come by my pulpit and give speeches and try to get people's votes. I've never had a voter registration table set up in my church. I've always tried to steer clear of politics. But this election has been so strange in so many ways. And there was so much at stake in this election that I think every one of us is breathing a sigh of relief that Donald Trump got elected. That doesn't mean that Donald Trump is perfect. But I do know that Paula White led him to the Lord in his office at Trump Tower years ago. She prayed with him, and when she left his office and she's had a relationship with him, she called a preacher friend of mine, and he called me today from New Jersey and told me about it again. And she said, God has his hand on that man, and she said, just be prepared. You'll be hearing from him in a major way. And that was back in the 90s. There's a lot of things about this that's interesting, and I'm going to just read this to you real quickly. It's not part of my sermon, but this is published by Charisma magazine, which is interesting. And if you go to any major search engines and ask when Donald Trump was born, it will all say June the 14th, 1946. And then if you go to any of the major search engines and ask when Israel became a nation, you'll be told that it happened on May the 14th, 1948. If you take both of those dates and plug them into the handy calculator provided by timeanddate.com, you'll discover that Donald Trump was born exactly 700 days before Israel became a nation. Here are some other incredible numbers that link Trump to Israel from that same source. Israel was 77 days old, exactly 777 days after Donald Trump was born. Israel's 70th birthday will come exactly 700 days after Trump's 70th birthday. Donald Trump won the election on Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's 7th month, and 7th day in office. On top of everything else, Donald Trump will be 70 years, 7 months, 7 days old on his first full day in the White House. Donald Trump will be inaugurated on January the 20th and will be president of part of that day, but his first full day in office will be January the 21st. As incredible as it may sound, this will happen during the year 5777 on the Hebrew calendar. In addition, it turns out there's some very strange coincidences concerning Mike Pence. He's 57 years old, will take office in the Hebrew year 5777. The last minute of Mike's 57th year will take place 1 minute before the 50th anniversary of Jerusalem, when they got Jerusalem back in 6767. Pence was born in Columbus. Trump Tower is located 0.7 miles from 57th Street in Columbus Circle. Trump's vice president, Pence, the 57-year-old from Columbus. there's so many things that's just more than coincidence. I think that you would agree, and I would have to agree, as much as I've had some doubts because of uncouth behavior and raw, crude talk, I think we'd all have to agree that he came out of nowhere and became president, and you'd have to say it's the Lord. So here's what I would say. I would say, I believe America, I believe the hand of judgment has been stayed from America. And I believe that Donald Trump, and I'm going to the inauguration hopefully next week, I believe that Donald Trump has been raised up by the Lord, evidently, because the Bible says the Lord sets up kings and he pulls down kings. I have to believe that God set him up. And also, I believe because he's going to be such a friend with Israel. I believe God's raised him up to be a friend to Israel, and America is going to become a close friend and ally of Israel again after these last 8 years. And he's also going to be instrumental in moving the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. That is literally going to blow the lid off of the channel of blessings for America. So Donald Trump and America is about to go through a major season of blessings.
America is about to go through a major seasons of blessings. I encourage you to get that entire message from Church of His Presence. You go to churchofhispresence.org. We'll have it for you on our website at vfntv.com. The whole message is powerful. But in this particular message, he's talking about the blessing that's on us. And it's literally comes through our bloodline by faith through Abraham. The blessing that's on Abraham is the blessing that's on believers, those who are Christians. And if you are not a Christian, you can have that. It's time to give your life to the Lord, because I'm telling you, God has good plans in store for those that are His. Thank you for watching VFN TV. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Also, if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe. You know, a lot of people want to abide with the Lord, but they just don't have a plan to do it. You can request that plan today at iabide.org. Don't forget you can join us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Download our app and sign up for our newsletter, The Torch, at vfntv.com.